You feel the grit of dried mud beneath your fingernails. Your hair, matted with dust and sweat, falls across your eyes as you blink awake. A subtle, earthy scent, uniquely you, hangs in the air around your skin. For 99% of human history, this wasn't a hypothetical scene. This was your daily reality. Today, you might reach for a scented soap, a toothbrush, or a quick shower, all part of a daily ritual to scrub away the world. You're bombarded with advertisements promising to make you cleaner, fresher, more appealing. But what did your ancestors do before the invention of soap, toothpaste, or even plumbing? Did they simply embrace perpetual filth, living short, disease-ridden lives? Or did they possess a nuanced understanding of cleanliness that has been lost to time? The answer is complex, revealing a deep connection to their environment and an ingenuity you might find surprising. Your ancient ancestors certainly didn't have the luxurious options you do, but they were far from unconcerned with personal care. Their very survival depended on maintaining a certain level of health, and hygiene played a vital role in that. How could you thrive or even survive if constantly plagued by disease and parasites? Consider your skin your body's largest organ. It's a barrier, a shield, and a sensory canvas. For early humans, it was constantly exposed to the elements, to dust, dirt, sweat, and the occasional grime of a hunt. They understood the need to remove impurities, even without understanding germ theory. Rivers and streams were their primary bathtubs. Imagine submerging yourself in cool, flowing water after a long day of foraging or tracking prey. The refreshing sensation, the simple act of rinsing away the day's accumulation, would have been profoundly satisfying. But water alone isn't always enough, especially for stubborn grime or dried blood. Ancient humans turned to natural abrasives. Sand, fine river pebbles, and even certain types of clay would have been used as natural exfoliants. You'd rub these materials against your skin, scrubbing away dead cells and embedded dirt, much like a modern loofah. This practice wasn't just about feeling clean. It was about preventing skin infections and maintaining skin health in harsh conditions. Did they have a preference for certain sands or clays that felt particularly good? Then there's your hair. Long, often tangled, and a perfect habitat for unwanted guests. Lice, fleas, and other parasites have plagued humans for millennia. Evidence from archaeological sites around the world, like the bone combs discovered in ancient Egyptian tombs, points to a long history of hair care. But even before elaborate combs, your ancestors used their fingers, twigs, or perhaps even rough pieces of hide to untangle and clean their hair. Social grooming, where individuals would pick lice and debris from each other's hair, was not only a practical hygiene measure but also a crucial bonding activity. This communal act strengthened social ties and ensured the health of the entire group. What about oral hygiene, the daily ritual you likely perform without a second thought? Your ancestors faced a diet far rougher and more varied than yours, full of fibrous plants and tough meat. This meant different challenges for their teeth. Amazingly, archaeological evidence suggests they were quite meticulous. In El Sidrón Cave in Spain, researchers, including Dr. Antonio Rosas and his team, analyzed Neanderthal dental calculus, hardened plaque, finding evidence of plant matter, fungi, and even natural antibiotics like penicillin. This suggests a sophisticated understanding of their environment for self-medication and perhaps a form of oral care. They might have chewed on fibrous twigs, using the frayed ends like a natural toothbrush to clean between teeth. Certain plants, like the miswak stick still used in some cultures today, have natural antiseptic properties that would have helped keep gums healthy and breath fresher. Would you recognize the plants they used, or are their secrets lost to the ages? Consider the widespread use of ochre, a natural clay pigment ranging from yellow to deep red. Archaeological discoveries, such as those from Blombo's cave in South Africa, have revealed shell beads and ochre processing kits dating back over 70,000 years. This indicates a deep-seated need for personal adornment and possibly hygiene. As ochre was used for skin protection, insect repellent, and could have antimicrobial properties, a topic explored by researchers like Dr. Christopher Henshelwood. You might have applied ochre not just for decoration, but to protect your skin from the sun, to deter biting insects, or even to heal minor wounds. It was a natural sunscreen, insect repellent, and antiseptic all in one. But here's a counterintuitive twist. In some respects, your ancient ancestors might have been cleaner than many people in densely populated medieval cities, or even some aspects of modern life. Their dirt was natural. It was soil, dust, plant matter, and animal residue components of the natural world. It wasn't the concentrated filth of human and animal waste, industrial pollutants, or the pervasive synthetic chemicals you encounter today. Their environment, while challenging, was largely free of the bacterial overload found in sewage-filled streets or stagnant wells. Dr. Christina Wariner, a molecular anthropologist specializing in ancient microbiomes, has shown through analysis of ancient dental plaque that human oral bacteria were far more diverse than modern populations. This suggests a fundamentally different relationship with the microscopic world, where many bacteria were not just tolerated, but potentially beneficial, contributing to a robust immune system rather than being something to be eradicated. Your ancestors lived in a dynamic, open ecosystem, constantly exposed to a wide array of microbial life, which likely primed their immune systems in ways yours can only dream of. Does your gut microbiome truly reflect the environment it evolved in? Think about the air your ancestors breathed. Clean, fresh, unburdened by pollution. The water they drank, often from pristine springs or fast-flowing rivers. Their constant movement, their active lifestyles, their frequent exposure to sunlight all contributed to a general state of well-being that would have minimized the need for extreme hygienic measures. They weren't living in cramped, unventilated spaces where pathogens could easily multiply and spread. When we talk about smell, your ancestors would have had a very different olfactory landscape. Their bodies would have carried the natural scent of sweat, sun, earth, and perhaps the smoke of their fires. This wasn't necessarily a bad smell in their context. It was simply the smell of human existence, a natural part of their identity and environment. The concept of body odor as something to be completely eliminated is a relatively modern invention, driven by industrial perfumes and cultural shifts. Would you be able to detect the subtle differences in scent that might have identified friend from foe, or even family from stranger? Consider waste management. Without toilets or plumbing, how did they handle human waste? Far from simply leaving it everywhere, early humans, especially in semi-permanent settlements, likely had designated areas for defecation, away from living spaces and water sources. This basic sanitation, driven by a natural aversion to foul smells and an instinctive understanding of disease vectors, was a fundamental step in public health. Animals were also often butchered away from camp and refuse buried or left for scavengers, preventing the buildup of disease-carrying pests. Their hygiene wasn't about sterile environments, but about living in harmony with their natural surroundings. It was pragmatic, adaptive, and deeply integrated into their daily survival. The constant struggle against parasites, for example, led to innovations like regularly cleaning sleeping areas, using smoke from certain plants as insect repellents, and the communal grooming practices that were so vital. They understood, instinctively, that a clean body and a clean living space contributed directly to their ability to hunt, gather, reproduce, and survive. So, while you might shudder at the thought of life without your daily shower and deodorant, your ancestors found ingenious ways to stay healthy and functional. Their methods were organic, resource-conscious, and intimately tied to the natural world. They didn't fight against their body's natural processes as much as they worked with them. Today, you spend a fortune on products designed to strip away bacteria, mask natural odors, and create an artificial sense of purity. You worry about chemicals in your food, but pour them all over your skin and into your mouth. Your ancestors, however, understood that true cleanliness wasn't about sterilization, but about balance. They respected the ecosystem of their own bodies and the world around them. The subtle, earthy scent, uniquely you, might just be a whisper from a time when your body knew exactly how to be clean.